2, and this is going to be my quick thoughts on Salem's Lot 2024. Yeah, they remade Salem's Lot. So this is based off of Stephen King's second book published, and this is his vision on vampires, which is very appropriate because I'm focusing my reading and a lot of my watching on vampires this month. So this is a movie that is wondering why we need it, but is it a remake worth looking at? So this thing had a very big shoes to fill, because 1979's miniseries without commercials was 3 hours. This is just under 2 hours. So there's probably a lot cut in this one. But you do have some iconic scenes from the miniseries and the book in this, but they're not going to give away everything. I mean, they do have the little boy at the window, and that is probably the creepiest part of Salem's Lot. And then you have like the morgue where Danny's mother, which was the boy at the window, she died and she rises up. That's terrifying. But essentially, Salem's Lot is the story of a writer named Ben Mears, and he returns to his hometown, which was known to be Jerusalem's Lot. But Jeru is blocked out, and it's just called Salem's Lot. So he starts hearing about these mysterious deaths in the town, and he comes across Straker and Barlow. Straker is an antiques dealer, and Kurt Barlow is a very mysterious figure that nobody knows about. But it turns out that he is a Nosferatu-looking vampire. And he has the whole town's influence, control. So this is a very slow building story that I will admit I kind of dozed off the first hour of it. I was like super tired that day. But this movie picked up very, very well once the vampires were introduced. And I gotta say, the second half was much stronger than the first half. The climax is just a basic human versus vampire showdown at a drive-in. And it was actually the funnest part of this whole movie. And I really did enjoy that aspect. But then you have like this 11-year-old boy who just wants to go kill all the vampires in town, and nobody like wants to defend him. Pretty brave little dude there, and he ended up making it to the end. So if you know the story, you know the story. But I think this one actually uh, delivered more on showing the vampires, whereas the miniseries, yes, you get Ben Mears' love interest as a vampire, but you hardly saw many vampires in the miniseries. But Kurt Barlow is probably the most terrifying vampire that I've ever seen. And he just embodies the look of a vampire. And I've always liked that design. So, the book itself is good, but it's not one of my favorites. I really do need to give it a reread at some point. But it's just a very, very slow building novel. And the miniseries follows the novel very, very well. But obviously, the remake is much shorter, so it has to cut some stuff out. But I really do admit that I did have fun with this, and I'm going to give Salem's Lot 2024 a B. It just struggles in that opening act, where I do have to admit it was kind of boring. But the third act was the best part of this entire movie. So those are my thoughts on Salem's Lot 2024. Next, I'm going to talk about Terrifier 3. The movie that I've been waiting to review ever since I saw it. So stay tuned for that. Adios. Peace.